What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode here on the channel. And man, I'm so elated to have my brother on here. He's my brother, man. He's a really great guy. You know, he got the Joe Rogan podcast set up, so he think he light skinned today. So but he's always busy. He's working. He's Nigerian, so they got 13 businesses going on at the same time. Yeah. But I'll let my brother, man, explain who he is and what his channel is. Go ahead, family.
Hey, what's up, O'Shea? Don't put me out there. I'm still looking for a green card. Don't make immigration come to my house. But anyway, my name is Kay. I have a business channel called K Business Podcast. Okay. So I do human service training here in Maryland, and I definitely travel all over the country to do training in my field. So I started my business in 2017, and right now I'm doing my business virtually. So I'm not doing in-person trainings. So that's kind of cut off a little bit of my cost, my expenses. So that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah. And I live in Baltimore. So
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay. You have an interesting story because you were born. Were you born in Nigeria?
No, actually, I was born in the UK.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was born in the UK.
Right.
Me and my family, we left the UK, moved to Nigeria for at least about 10 years. Then I moved back to the UK. Then I moved to the United States in 97.
Okay.
So I've been here since, living with my brothers and sisters here in the United States.
Okay.
But I've lived in 3 countries so far. Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. You were born as a UK citizen.
Yes.
Then moved back to Nigeria, then became an American citizen.
No, I moved back to Nigeria, became a Nigerian citizen.
Okay.
Then left Nigeria, moved to the UK, back to the UK.
Right.
Then I left the UK and moved to America.
Okay. And you've been in America for almost 25 years.
25 years, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So that's an interesting perspective. So, and you're in a city, like I believe you're in or close to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Which I used to live in DC. It's a lot of brothers, African American brothers, a lot of Nigerian brothers there. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I love about what you do, you cover a lot of small business opportunities or hustles.
Correct.
A lot of side hustle kind of things. But one of the things that's left out, because you work with a lot of our people in the social service business, because we did a really good show about that. It had like thousands of views.
Correct.
And you have an insight of how the African American community works, and you do a lot of business with the African American community. And there's a stigma that Nigerian Americans are over here and African Americans are over here, and there's somewhat of a culture situation that separates us, and we don't really do stuff together. But I don't see that when I come from you. Is that more of is that a lie, or is that some truth to that, or what's the whole deal with that, brother?
Yeah, we do things together. I went to a school. I went to high school here, and majority of my friends were African Americans. Even going to college, majority of my friends were still African Americans. So, sometimes I'll hang with my African American friends, and we'll hang with Nigerian friends, and we all rolling together. And I'll tell you this, we all the same, man. We think alike, we do the same thing. But working in the community, I think a lot of social problems that is affecting a lot of people in Africa is the same problems that's going on here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Economically, their families living in poverty. Because with me working in social services, I was able to understand where most of them were coming from. You know what I'm saying? I was able to understand how to provide services for them. And going back to Africa, the services they need, they don't have it. But over here, they do have it. And sometimes I try to explain to some of them, like, look, if you move to Africa and see the way people are living, man, you will be happy like where you are right now. Like you'll be happy with the services that we are providing to you, because Africa don't have those type of services. Right. They don't have child support. They don't have food stamps. They don't have all these types of services that are available in America. And I always try to open their eyes to see that you have to see the whole world. Like the way people are living in Africa is different. So appreciate what you have right now. But I don't look down on anybody, because that's not what I do. I don't look down on anybody. I just try to explain to them, like, I had a lot of kids on my caseload, and you know that, right? So most of the kids that I had on my caseload, I try to let them know, go to school, become a better person, because there are other people from other countries that would love to come here. And you are here right now, take on the opportunities, you know? But working with the African-American community has been great. I've helped a lot of kids go to college. Even with my trainings, I've helped people get jobs, employment. But as long as, to me, I just look at both cultures. There are differences, but we're all Black people, and we have our, there's some things that we do that's just like, oh man, we are all the same. We are not different. Nigerians have a certain way about them. African Americans also have this a thing about them as well. We're all different, but we have some type of behaviors that it's the same. Like there's something that just put us that we are similar. If you get what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you this, man, because you have I like I've seen your you and your family, beautiful family. You're a brother that's very likable. You have a very pleasant spirit, and I noticed that with some of the things I'm seeing with a lot of our talented Nigerian American people who are in our community in America, a lot of brothers coming over from Africa are very, very bright. In Africa, especially in the DC, Baltimore area, Philadelphia. But there are certain things that it seems like it's causing us from doing certain things in America together as a more of a larger community. And I'm seeing things in Nigeria. I don't know if you've seen these things, like there's Piggy Vest. You have all of these fintech apps that are coming up. Just and there's agro partnerships, and hope we put a picture of that. All these great opportunities available in Nigeria that African Americans and Nigerians are not taking advantage of. And what do you think that's stopping? Because Nigeria has some great opportunities and some great talent that we're not using, and we got some great talent that they're not using. So what is it that you feel that's stopping our communities from saying, okay, well, these are some of the things we can both bring to the table to do something greater as a unit?
I think it's just information, lack of information. And I do believe African Americans, if they want to take the opportunity to invest in Africa, they should. They should. But here's the thing, it's about connections. Who do you know in Nigeria? Who do you know in Ghana? Who do you know in Senegal? You have to know somebody there in order for you to actually try to invest. Because I don't know if this is the right platform to say this. If you don't know the right people, you will lose your money. Okay?
Right.
Even me as a Nigerian, if I was to go to Nigeria and invest into a business, I still need my cousins, my uncles. I need family to actually show me around, because it's been a while since, I don't live there. My family is here. My whole life is here. So I have to go there and adjust to some type of business. So I think the disconnect is the lack of communication between both cultures. We don't provide information with one another, like, hey, this is what you can do here. This is how you can invest. This is who to talk to. Because as you know, Nigeria is kind of unstable at this time. Government, infighting, tribal fighting. So that's why most African Americans will not think about investing in Nigeria. But there's also Rwanda. There's also other countries that are still stable. They're still actually doing well. So you have to look towards those countries to think about investing in Africa. But here's the thing: African Americans and Nigerians, in my history living in Baltimore, we have a great relationship. We have a good community. Some of my church members are actually married to African Americans. They dress like Nigerians. They eat Nigerian food. And some of us Nigerians, we definitely go into the Black community. We definitely give. We have back to school. We provide services to people in the community. So there's definitely some type of relationship, but it's not everybody, though. You know, it's just a small pockets of groups that actually will give back to African Americans. Like for me, I would give back to African Americans. Why not? Why not? Why not work with African Americans here? I've worked with them for the last 10 years.
Right.
You know, if you can go back and feed the homeless, do it. If you can start a scholarship fund, do it. You know, so it takes one person just to stand up, just to do something. Because some people don't even know I'm Nigerian.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Some people don't know I'm Nigerian. And sometimes I would sit there and they were like, yeah, those goddamn Africans, they always come here and take all our jobs. And one day I was like, y'all know I'm Nigerian. They were like, what? You Nigerian? Hell no. They're like, Sam, because my name is Sam. They're like, Sam, you Nigerian? I said, yeah, I'm Nigerian. Straight, yeah. Booty scratching, yeah, Nigerian. They're like, man, we thought you were one of us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We thought you were one of us. I'm like, no, I am actually Nigerian, but, you know, I can relate with African Americans.
Right.
Because I grew up with most of them.
Right. And I know, like, in certain cities, like Philadelphia, I know it's like that, where, you know, the communities kind of run. Like even George was telling me in Philadelphia, he said, man, you might have a gang shooting and there's an African American and a Nigerian going to get to go shoot up two African Americans.
Yo, we do stuff together. Like, I'm telling you, like, no lie. When I was still in college, right?
Yeah.
I had like some of my African American friends. I had friends from Trinidad and I had friends from Nigeria. We go to the club.
Right.
And something happens. Guess what? My African American friends and my Nigerian friends, they're the ones getting into the fights. Yeah, and people like me, I'm the one stopping and like, yo, y'all chill. You know what I'm saying? But we are not different. When it comes to fights and stuff that we do out there, we are the same.
Right.
We are the same. Trust me. You know, we had something in common. We love to party, we love women, and some of them love to drink. So when we go out, we didn't look at like, oh, you African, you African American. We just connected, you know. Even some of my friends now, I'm still good friends with some of my African American friends. We still talk.
Right.
Some will come to my house, they'll eat African food. You know, I know some of their family members. That's me, you know. But I don't know about the other ones. That's the old school ones. They have this perception about African Americans, and I tried to teach them, like, you know, not everybody is bad. We have bad people too. You know, we have bad Africans. We just have bad people everywhere. You know, so don't judge. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know there is that element in certain people. I remember I told my mom when I wanted to go to Uganda. She cried. You know, she had cried. She said, you know, those people don't like our people. You know, they might give you, they might do some voodoo on you or something like that. I'm not gonna see you again.
Oh yeah.
And then when the business started doing good, I started giving her some money. She was like, I really love your staff. You know, so she figured out, man, that it was just, you know, it's just treating people as they are, as individuals, and respecting people. And I found that out when I was in Africa. Like, hey, have patience with people. These might not be African Americans, but they're still a part of your ethnic. They're still a part of your, you know, your race group, and you just show them respect and you get it back. And I was like, wow, you know, my perceptions about this group, I'm wrong. Like, you know, like this is as nice as anybody else. You know, and I know that about you. You have really good soft skills. You're very personable. How did you adopt those skills, man? Because it's helped you, you know, get even me, man. I didn't even really know who you was. I'm like, man, this guy seems cool. I just like, yo, bro, let me interview you in, because you just have that energy. Like, I wasn't thinking about like, oh, well, he's from Nigeria, I can't mess with him. But how did you develop those soft skills, man, that keeps you in the Nigerian community, that keeps you popping in the African American community? How do you develop those skills that many of us don't have to get along with people and just to even do things?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's just my personality in general. I'm able to get along with anybody. You know, I don't have a problem getting along with anybody as long as you're cool with me and we can work together and achieve something. Sure, why not? And it's funny that you said that your mom was telling you about going to Africa, right? Like one time I was in the house, my mom was watching CNN, and I don't know, a police officer shot a black man. And most people would think most Africans don't like African Americans. My mom was heated. I can't believe it. They shot that man. They shot the black man. We have to all come together. So she was pissed.
Yeah.
She was pissed. Like, why they shoot black people? She didn't even say, oh, that's just African Americans. No, she said black people. Why they shooting the black men in this country? Because she was heated.
Right.
So she kind of put that in me, like, we look at everybody, we can work with everybody. Because my mom, she has an African store and she sells clothing, and majority of her customers are African Americans.
Wow.
Yep.
Say it again.
Majority of her customers are African Americans.
That doesn't shock me.
Because they come in they want to buy the African clothing, and my mom knows how to talk to them. Like, she, as soon as they walk in, hello, how are you? You want to buy this? Because African Americans they're not cheap like some of my people, right? African Americans, they will spend the money. If this is $200, they're paying $200. But if a Nigerian comes in, she'll be like, those Nigerians, they don't want to pay $200. They want to pay $100.
Right.
So she loved African Americans, so she'll go to an African American church to market. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She connect with them. But she sells to everybody, which is okay. But her main, she's always telling me her main focus is providing to the African American community, because she is in the African American community. Her store is in the African American community. So she does a lot of giveaways, especially during Black History Month too. So she has discounts for African Americans who like. So I kind of learned that from her, and just even me coming from England to the United States, I didn't know anybody, and majority of my friends were African Americans. They're the ones that protected me. They're the ones that, because when I was, I guess I was in the 10th grade, and there was this particular cat who just wanted to pick on me, who just wanted to fight me all the time. I'm just like, who is this dude? Like, why? What's going on? So my dude from around the way was like, yo, why you messing with my man? He didn't even know who I was.
Right.
And he beat the dude up after we got off the bus. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
So that's when I began to build relationships with a lot of African Americans, and most of them didn't even know I was Nigerian. They just know I was from the UK. Some people thought I was from New York, because I had the accent. Then I had the accent. I really had the accent. Then I had to change because people couldn't understand me. Mm-hmm. So, I'm like, man, I'm talking to some of my friends, they couldn't understand me, and that's why that you can sometimes hear a British accent. Sometimes you don't know if it's an African accent. So I kind of got mixed between the two, because I was trying to be American so bad, because this is a new thing for me. I'm trying to talk like an American. I still have my British accent, but eventually everything worked out very well, and that's how I'm able to still till today get along with anybody from any part of the world. I can work with anybody. Doesn't bother me one bit.
What was different about living in, let's say, I don't know if you lived in a Black community or more of a Black-centered community in London? I know they do have them. What's the difference between the Black community, let's say, in London or like South London or North London, and then let's say in East Baltimore or something like that? What's the difference between living amongst the Blacks in the UK and living in the Blacks in America?
I will be honest, I don't think there's any different. It's just culture, because a lot of the Blacks in the UK, most of them were from the islands, like Jamaica, Trinidad. So it's kind of similar. It's just different because of culture. Some of them still had their culture, Jamaicans, but most of them kind of hang together. Most of the Jamaicans hang together. Most of the people from Trinidad hang together. Sometimes all of them hang together. But the Nigerians, because I went to a school and most of the Nigerians, we hang together, so we really didn't mix like that, because some of them hated Africans. Some of them hated Africans, but yeah, it's no different. I don't think there's a difference. I don't think there's a difference. The
Difference,
community,
okay.
yeah, because if you have something in common with another person, you guys will always get along. So the communities over there was the same thing. You guys hang out, you guys love movies, you guys love women, whatever it is. If you have something in common, you can always work together. So I don't see a difference. Just culture. That's it.
You mentioned something. I was basically, I did a show with a Kenyan brother by the name of Ken's Money Matters. Mm-hmm. He's a brother that is from Kenya. He's working with a PhD. He's an excellent finance channel on the Kenyan market, in specific bonds, and the stock market in East Africa. Very, very brilliant young man. Mm-hmm. And I was saying, that if you look at U.S. investments, there's plenty of information on Fidelity, Vanguard, and things like that. Yes. But when you look at investments, let's say in East Africa, there's very little information. And he said that, there's a lack of information for things that the diaspora can do in Kenya, or the diaspora can do in Rwanda. But now when you mentioned the same reason that people are not really coming together because of a lack of information, or when it comes to do business, you say the same thing. There's a lack of information. Mm-hmm. What do you actually mean when you say there's a lack of information?
Well, you mean for Africans living here?
Well, I mean, like for Africans living here and in the African American community, just like not working together. It's just a lack of information. I want you to explain that.
Well, when I say lack of information, like sometimes when people have information, they don't want to share.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
excellent.
They don't want to share. It's like I know the information. I'm good. And for you to actually talk to them, they're not going to give you all the information. They just say, "Oh, call me during the week," and you call and they don't pick up. It's just sometimes when people get the information, they don't put it out there. They don't want to share. Like on my channel, I talk about government contracts, and you'd be surprised the amount of emails I get. Like, wow, I didn't even know that I can get government contracts. I'm like, yeah, government contracts are set aside for minorities. You didn't know that? You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that that some people are not open to. Mm-hmm. So even people in Africa, some of them are not open. If you're at the bottom, you are going to remain at the bottom. That's not going to change because people are not going to give you that information. And also sometimes us as Black people, we don't want to see other people grow.
Right.
Yeah. Like for example, like I put you on, right? And you get better than me, right? I could say, wow, that's great. Good work. Some people don't want to see that. They don't want to see you be better than them. They want to keep you at the bottom because, that's just their nature. But, for example, so somebody like you now, you put people on, like you putting different people on and their channels are blowing up right now. Mm-hmm. But you're still doing your thing. You're not hating on them. They're doing their thing. They're making their money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But some other folks, once they have a YouTube channel, nobody can get on. That's it. They shut it down. You can't even call them on the phone.
Right.
Yeah, you have to speak to their assistant in order for them to actually speak to you. So I'm telling you. But that's the problem with a lot of. That's what I see with a lot of Nigerians. Like sometimes I'll ask them. Oh my gosh, I wanted to. I forgot what it was I wanted to do. I called this Nigerian guy. He was supposed to actually help me with some information. Right. I called him. And he picked up the phone. I said, "How you doing, sir? Somebody gave me your number. I need some help, this and that." He said, he asked, "So who gave you my number?" I said, "This person." He said, "Okay, let me call you back." And he never did. I called him again. He said, "Yeah, I said I'll call you back. Give me one more week." I waited another week, called him. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm traveling. I'll be gone for a month." And I'm like, "Yo, my dude, you know what? Let me go online." So I went online and found the information myself. So sometimes you have to actually do your own research and not depend on people all the time, because a lot of people out there don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you become better than them. And some people just feel like, you know what? Why are you disturbing me? I'm not here to help you. I'm not here to hold your hand. So that's what's going on. A lot of people don't want to share information. A lot of people don't want to see others grow. But here's the thing: when one person grows, they bring you up. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the NFL, for example. when one coach get fired, right, the following year, doesn't he have a job?
Yeah,
he has a job because the person that's going to hire him used to work for him before. You know what I'm saying? That's what white people do. White people, they'll be like, okay, I'm in this company now, let me bring you on. A lot of black people don't like doing that. Like, they don't want to put people on sometimes. And that's why you see the white community, like, they give each other jobs, they move to this company. Like, I'll tell you a story, right?
Okay.
The government agency I work for, this white lady, she came from Chicago, right? She was the executive director. So she fired everybody on the top, all the program managers, all the directors. And guess what she did? She brought in her people. She brought in her own people.
Right.
Her own people. These people didn't even have the experience. They didn't even have the qualifications. Some of them were not even licensed. She put this person in that position, put that person in that position. She had her peoples there. That's the same thing that happens here in America with white folks, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what happened at my job. She was putting people on. So when I make it, you're supposed to bring people that are qualified to stay in this position. But sometimes we don't want to work together because we don't want to see each other make it or grow.
Yeah, and that's something that happens both in the Nigerian community. I've heard of that happening in both communities.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens.
That's one thing about African Americans in the African community. They both gonna keep it to themselves.
Oh yeah, like some people they make it, like they make it to become a supervisor or assistant director, and they're ready to start raining havoc on everybody at the bottom. They don't even care who you are. But I always I had to tell my supervisor one time. I said, look, when you make it, when you become a supervisor, when you become a program manager, that's the time you begin to groom people below you. Bring them up because they can become a governor, they can become a mayor, they can become anybody out there. And when they're ready to put their management team together, guess what? They're gonna think about people who put them on back in the day. Why do you think these governors, and mayors, when they become governors and mayors, do you think they bring in people they don't know? They bring in people they know who put them on back in the day.
Right.
Like the governor of Maryland, the department I work for, the person that he put in charge of the whole department was somebody that hired him back in the day, in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I remember, I'll tell you another good story. There was this supervisor, she had a great team. She looked out for her team. She was just a supervisor. And this young lady applied to become an executive director in another jurisdiction. So when she became an executive director, she noticed the place was like, the whole department was trash. So she needed a second in command. Do you know who she thought of? She thought of her supervisor. Mm-hmm. Called the supervisor and brought her up.
Wow.
That's how you do it. That's how you make connections. Mm-hmm. That's how you build people, work with people. Don't throw people under the bus.
No, that's actually true because that's one thing that I noticed that we do. But a lot of people in our community, brother, I see that. Even when I was in Uganda, I see that even in our community, man. There's so much of a scarcity mindset, and I want to talk to you about that. Why do you think we can? What can we do to get out of that scarcity mindset when there's so much opportunity for us to do in the black world?
Some people have been burnt several times, so I guess that's why some people shut everybody out. Right. But you have to remember that if you are able to help somebody, right? That is your blessing. You know what I'm saying? That is your connection. So we gotta get at that scarcity mindset. We have to, find ways to work with everybody, to bring everybody on, because it's like, oh, I make it, that's it. I'm not gonna deal with anybody else out there. It's me. No, you've made it. So it's time for you to actually spread it out a little bit. Give people information. Bring people on. Coach people. Mentor people. Because you never know where somebody's gonna end up. That's the way I look at it. You never know you don't know what tomorrow is gonna be. Somebody's gonna end up on the top, and they'll always think about you. Yeah,
I could say that about Kevin Samuels because nobody knew where he was going. Yeah, I remember, and man, he's been saving my behind in 2021 because because of him, you know what I mean? Like he opened up a whole new door for everybody, man. So
exactly.
I always thank him for it.
He has 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He has 1 million subscribers on Instagram, right? And till today, he still mentions your name. He hasn't forgot where he comes from. You know what I'm saying? Because he came on your platform and many others. And one thing about what I learned from Kevin Samuels is don't beef. You know what I'm saying? If you have a beef, you don't have to go to YouTube. You can call the man directly. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I didn't appreciate what you did here and there. But you didn't know what Kevin Samuels was going to be.
No.
If you had shut him down and said, nah, man, dude, take that stuff out of here. Nobody want to wear no suit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you gave him an opportunity. And look at him today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He will never have to work for anybody. Ever again. Ever again. You know what I'm saying? And that's many others that have come through your channel. If it's African Americans or Africans that have come through your channel, they have scaled their YouTube, because, you don't have to open the door for anybody. You really don't. You don't even have to interview me. You don't have to. But you have opened the door, and that's where your blessings is coming. And your blessings is even coming, you're going to have more,
Right. And that's why I try to tell people about the whole black community. Like, man, stop hating on people. Let our people rock, and it comes back.
It will come. Eventually, it will come back to you.
Right.
You just have to find ways to work together.
Right.
You might not all agree.
Right.
I'm married. I still follow Ramil. You know what I'm saying? I still listen to Ramil. I disagree with him on the marriage thing, but the man has good business stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We might not agree on the relationship things, but I definitely agree with him on the business thing. So, I don't have to make a video to disrespect the man. No.
Right.
No, all that is not necessary. It's really not.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, it's a great points, man. You brought out some different things, especially with black people not sharing information. That's a whole topic in itself, man.
You'd be surprised. Like
you got to come back and do that one.
You'd be surprised at the emails I get when people didn't know you can actually apply for government contracts if you have a business. Any type of service business, cleaning, transportation, moving. People didn't know that there were businesses, that money set aside for small businesses, for minorities. This is set for black people. Some people didn't know. Because some people get contracts and boom, they're making their money, and you can't even call to ask them a question because they wouldn't tell you. They wouldn't tell you. Or they're gonna charge you $5,000. Oh, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. Oh yeah, you're gonna pay.
You're gonna pay. Well, brother, I definitely thank you for coming on, man. I know it was my fault. We were supposed to do this, and I know you got something you got to work right after this, and I thank you for it. Because I know I had dropped the ball last week, but I'm glad I was able to make it right. Tell everybody, man, about your channel and why they should subscribe to the K Business Podcast.
Yeah, on my channel, we just talk about startups. I just believe that if you have a business idea, there's certain steps that you can take to get your business started. So I focus mostly on startups. I don't focus on growing businesses or established businesses. I focus on startups. I give you the tools that you need. I give you information on government contracts and ways to get funding for your business. So those are the things that I talk about on my channel.
All right. So guys, thank you so much for coming. Check out the K Business Podcast. As you know, keep it real, King Ghana forever. We out.